I think so, yeah. Hold on. I know I turned that down for the recording. There we go. There we go. Because now I can.
There we go.
I'm getting more information now.
There we go.
Ready? There we go.
There we go.
That was horrible.
Okay, so hello and welcome to the Nerds Kingdom's review of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
So joining me today is Random Ravager number 16, played by Dan Boyle.
Hello.
And
I got a big part. Mum, can you see me? Hi, Mum.
And to my right, we've got Samuel Gamora Glover.
Hello, all of Dan's friends that have just joined us.
Hello.
Well.
Thank you for joining us. And then you got me, your host, Ewen Raccoon Patterson.
Yeah.
It's because he looks like a raccoon.
Yes, I'm just a raccoon inside a man's body right now.
So,
every time he just pulls fur off of cats and sticks it to his face.
Yes.
And it's
I have issues. So we're gonna go over some of the things we liked, our general impressions.
Yeah. Except for you, Dan. I hate you.
No, I'm going to kick this off.
No.
Okay,
No,
go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to kick this off because I liked this movie. The first one was my favourite Marvel movie, and I thought this one was a bit of a disappointment, to be honest.
Disappointment.
Yes, a disappointment.
It's all right. It's not. You do this every time. You just angrily hurt me.
Whoa.
Space raccoon. That's where you are.
Space raccoon.
I'm the space raccoon here, out of the three of us.
Sam.
Trash
Sam.
panda. No,
No,
that's
no,
it.
no, no,
We're
no,
gonna do a mutiny. Mutiny.
No, Sam.
Open the door.
Sam.
That's it. Freeze in the cold void of space. Okay, that burnt a lot, but that's fair enough.
Why can't you two love each other?
He kills me every week for some reason, and I have to edit that.
Anyway, so Dan is currently being spaced.
So, what are we doing?
So I think we're gonna have to continue the review.
Yeah.
So you said you liked it.
I liked it. It was good. If I had to summarise it in a sentence, it's Guardians of the Galaxy is the longest and most expensive TV show ever made. If you've not, you can't watch this without watching the first one. This is definitely a sequel, and if you love the characters and you want to see what happened to them after Guardians of the Galaxy, you'll love it. If you're expecting another Guardians of the Galaxy, then just go watch Guardians of the Galaxy 1. That is my summary of it.
See, I'm on a different. It reminds me of Fast and the Furious.
Oh,
because now I love Fast and the Furious because it's stupid, it's dumb and ridiculous. Not to say that Guardians of the Galaxy is stupid, dumb and ridiculous,
but it is.
But at the core of Fast and the Furious, it's about family.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And this film is all about family, finding where you fit in it, reconnecting with it.
Yeah.
So that is why I enjoyed it, and the story hit me on a very personal level, particularly Star-Lord's.
Okay, so that was one of the things I was going to hit on. This film is very specifically for a certain like type of family atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I love that there is a film that addresses this in a.
Yeah.
This is quite nice. It is lovely.
I like that film. There are certain aspects of what Peter talks about is just like, yeah, that is true. People do go through that, so I like that aspect of it. I mean,
there's the side of it. I'm a bit. It felt like there were two films in this film, and we only got. It felt like we're watching two episodes of a space-related comedy sitcom, and they just got kind of fused together. And rather than it being one coherent film, it was two episodes of a Doctor Who length thing. It was like a part one and a part two.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I see where you're coming with that. I mean, I liked the film on the whole. Quite a lot of the jokes did hit, I felt. And the action was good. My two favorite bits in terms of action were the bit where Rocket is just taking down all of those Ravagers and just chucking them up in the air.
So let's start this out. Let's start with this. Start off with the story. What do you think? What was your thoughts of the story as a whole? Just trying to formalise the review a little bit.
In terms of story, there isn't really a story. It's predictable. Like the moment Yondu shows up on screen, you're going, and you hear about Ego the Living Planet being and being Star-Lord's dad, you go, yeah, Yondu's gonna die.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, you just know that's gonna happen. The moment
it's pretty much said at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just you're gonna die.
Yeah. And you're gonna do something heroic that will earn you this thing that I've just said you're not gonna do. You're not gonna get.
It was nice that they focused. It would have been nicer if they genuinely focused the whole story around Yondu. I would have preferred it if from the beginning to the end. That was the focus. If the first scene was actually Yondu leaving the Ravagers, and it was a badass fight scene with Yondu doing that, and then it was like, where are those assholes, the Guardians of the Galaxy? Cut to the opening credit sequence, which was amazing. That would have been better.
Those gold guys as well. That whole plot point about the batteries.
Yeah,
it didn't feel natural. If you get what I mean, it just felt like we need a MacGuffin to start the whole story off, and then we need these guys to intermittently come back and.
Although, interestingly, I find it interesting how Marvel are thematically transitioning from film to film. Because if you think, what was the start of the Guardians of the Galaxy, they were fighting an interdimensional creature.
Yeah.
And the last film the public would have seen on Marvel is
Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Isn't it?
So going from so that was an interesting transition. If you watched these back to back, that would be a weird little transition of, we're talking about interdimensional things, they exist now, then cut to, we're fighting interdimensional beings.
Yeah.
Then
I mean, the main thing about this film is the characters. That's what everybody comes in for. It's what everybody wants to see. And
we got more of the same, which was nice.
I mean,
but
I like Rocket Raccoon. I think Rocket, the way that they've developed that character is very nicely done, and it's him. Like that bit at the end when he leaves Peter and Yondu on Ego. It's a properly heartfelt moment because you see the way that they animated Rocket. He's just down. He's really, really sad.
Yeah.
He doesn't take it hard easily, and he says, "I cannot lose more than one friend today," and that is it shows his character's journey.
Yeah,
which I liked.
Regarding story, I have a theory of especially Marvel specifically, but it seems to be starting to branch out to other blockbuster things. There's a theory of how they are designing the plot points and the story arcs to have a very specific feel, and I feel that all of the Marvel films are designing their films to replicate Dungeons and Dragons. I'll explain that now. Basically, it's from the Avengers. Joss Whedon wrote the Avengers, and there was this kind of nice unity feel to it, and and that was not really seen on film before, which was why everyone loved that film. That's what made the Marvel Universe make lots of money.
Yeah.
And it's because of the way Joss Whedon wrote that. He is an outspoken nerd. He is a self-confessed nerd. He loves all sorts of different unique things, from comic books to D&D, and you can see that in all of his products. All the things he's written has these essences of all these elements. And he wrote the Avengers like it was a D&D party. They had a big villain to fight, a big bad. They were solving problems where everyone was a specialist in their area, which is how you play D&D. You have a thief pick the locks. You have a fighter stand at the front of the party. You have a cleric doing all the healing, and that's how it went, and that worked. So that formula's moved on. And then you get things like Doctor Strange, which feels like a solo adventure in D&D, where you've got all these magical artifacts, which are almost exactly how you would see them in a D&D game. And now you get Guardians of the Galaxy. This one feels exactly like a D&D game that's written by a DM that's slightly drunk. You've got all the different party members doing the thing, except because he's drunk, he's not really focusing on the campaign. He's just going, you know what, do what you want. Yeah, what are you doing? Are you going to a pub? You're going to go do a fight? Yeah, sure. Just you go do that. Just go do that. And what am I meant to be doing? Here you go. Yeah, sorry. Oh, did I say that too soon? Oh, bang! I've ruined the spoiler. And you know what I mean? That's what it feels like. The whole. It feels like a drunk game of D&D.
Like the thing is, another thing with the plot, people might say, "Oh, you're nitpicking," but I can't help that when I saw the film, it opens up on Kurt Russell and Peter's mom, going on a romantic drive, singing a song, and then going into the woods, and then you see like this alien planet, and I'm like, yeah, that's going to be the thing that will destroy the Earth. That'll be something that Kurt Russell as the villain is going to use later on in the film. And guess what? I was right. I had the same moment when they were spacing the Ravagers. Like, this is just here for a reason. It's here to serve as something later on in the plot. What it was, I didn't know, but it's there to set something up for later.
Speaking of which, I reckon in original version of this script, the light that is referred to in Ego, the Living Planet, I reckon that was originally an Infinity Stone, but then they decided that Infinity Stone is going somewhere else.
I'm betting that Infinity Stone is going to be in Ragnarok.
Yeah, a lot of people suggesting that it's because of the nature of the way that Infinity Stone works. You're going to see Hela.
Yeah.
Which control it.
The one thing that I also liked in this one is Nebula.
Nebula was fun.
Nebula was fun, but she gave us the first time, she gave us something about Thanos that we haven't ever had.
What?
A threat. We've heard, everybody that's a nerd will tell you Thanos is a bad guy.
Yeah.
But in terms of the films that we've seen up to this point, all 15 of them or something at this point, Thanos has never actually done anything bad. He's just sat there and been intimidating or smiled. Nebula tells us this really horrifying story about what he did to her as a child. And that makes you go... I sat in the theatre going, oh, okay, that's why he's a bad person.
Yeah, but to be fair, he has enslaved several races to do his bidding and
but that's
to destroy and...
That's all in the comics.
No, I mean Avengers.
Yeah, but... As far as we're concerned, as far as like the average moving-going audience person...
In the rules of show, don't tell, we've never seen Thanos do anything other than sit in a chair.
Yeah. So, by telling us that this is what Thanos is capable of, it makes him that much more of a threat when we finally get to Infinity War this time next year. And I'm pretty sure in Ragnarok, they'll have to put something about Thanos, because it's the film directly before Avengers.
Oh, yeah, there will be. Well, this is where everything's gonna. Everything hits the fan.
This is my bet here. I'm saying this now on air. My bet is Hela is the Marvel Cinematic Universe's version of Death that Thanos is in love with, and that we'll get at some point a scene between Thanos and Hela in Thor Ragnarok. Saying, "I've got all these plans for you, beloved," or something. I'm trying to win your love, and then Kate Blanchett will be like, "Oh, don't bother with you, me immortals." That is my bet.
Interestingly enough, the actual just before we carry on with the Guardians of the Galaxy review, reading up on Norse mythology is amazing. I recommend the Neil Gaiman book especially. And there's this. It talks about Loki's children. Hela is technically what in the original mythology is. Hela is one of Loki's children who's half dead, looks a bit Two-Face-esque, and because she's polite but inherently sinister, they decided to put her down in hell to rule over hell. And so she's meant to be a nice, polite young girl with half a dead face. And so I'm curious of why Kate Blanchett is that. But I'm
in the MCU is completely, like, even in the Marvel comics, it's completely. I think they make references that Loki He's her father, but it's very much she's the one in a higher position of power.
Yeah.
Out of the two, because there's if you ever get to see the animated film Thor versus the Hulk, they have this whole section where they go down and see Hela down there. That was how I was introduced to Hela. But yeah, I think let's move on to some of the things.
Let's go back to Guardians of the Galaxy. So,
go back to Guardians of the Galaxy.
In terms of action, what do you think of the action that happened in there? Do you like it?
I think it's fairly standard. It's nothing that you haven't seen before. Let's make that very, very clear. It's nothing you haven't seen before in terms of the space battle. The space battle at the beginning, where they're trying to get away from those golden guys. I don't even know what they're called. The Sovereign.
Sovereign, yeah.
When they're trying to get away from them, was good. I like the little thing that the fact that the Sovereign pilots are in like tiny little
Atari.
They're like in little arcade machines, aren't they?
Yeah.
I like that. I like the way that Rocket took down all those Ravagers.
The end fight.
I felt that it just kind of happened.
It was very messy.
I know this is probably going to get like a lot of nerd rage. I'm telling you this. I enjoyed the film, but it felt
at the end when it was talking about creation and the ability to create anything.
Yeah.
When I was looking at that, all I was really thinking was James Gunn's never played Minecraft. That's literally all I was thinking, because you see it and you go, okay, what's he doing? Okay, they're building a bigger version of themselves to fight each other. If this was basically, if you translate the end fight scene to Minecraft, it's the ability of someone going, hold on, I have the ability to go on creative mode. I can do anything. And the first thing you do if you're trying to kill someone else is you throw TNT, you throw dragons at them.
No, but the thing is, the funniest part of that fight is that Quill turns himself into Pac-Man.
Which, yeah, that's clever. That's a fun reference. But it's the idea of like, he could have done anything.
Yeah.
Anything. He could have decided to just collapse the planet in on him or something, and just no.
So he is the planet. So that kind of, I mean, I like that. It felt to me what quite a lot of people complain about Man of Steel.
Yeah.
The Man of Steel ending. I thought the Man of Steel ending was fine in terms of the fight. I think that the thing where he's taking down the thing in the Indian Ocean went a little bit too far. But I think the actual fight with Zod was good because it had so much emotion behind it.
Yeah.
This one, it felt like a son trying to fight with his father. And the emotion was there, especially when it was revealed that his dad was the reason that his mum was...
That was a really nice moment.
That was a nice twist, because you see the change in him, literally. In Peter, and he just wails on him, because there's one thing you don't mess with a son, and that's messing with his mama.
I felt it could have gotten to that point quicker. So again, my main qualms, I feel that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is missing a plot point.
Yeah.
It feels like from getting to the Sovereign to Ego the Living Planet, there's a gap. And I feel that gap is, if you take all the scenes as what they are, and you can't add anything else, there's an easy way to kind of get from A to B that it feels more coherent, and you include the Ravagers more. It feels Sylvester Stallone clearly should have had more to do in that film.
Yeah.
And there should have been more of a Ravager scene at that kind of weird Horbar planet thing.
Yeah.
And I feel the Guardians of the Galaxy should have been there. They should have escaped to said planet, because somehow they're friends with Yondu, and that's where Sylvester Stallone comes in going, ugh, what are you doing? You meant to have killed them and you're having drinks with them. No, get in. Ugh. And that's the idea of that should have been a bigger fight. That should have been where their ship got destroyed. They try and escape. And then you have somewhat this mysterious stranger, come with me if you want to live. Yeah. And it's like, haha, I'm your father.
Yeah.
That would have been a smoother transition. It makes the Ravagers give a plot rather than just.
The thing is, you know what's really annoying about Sylvester Stallone's character in the entire film is he's Starblazer from Marvel's other Guardians. He was the original leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy that Yondu was a part of.
That would have been so cool.
And that team that he assembles in that post-credit team is the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
Which is why that would have been really cool.
That would have been like I'm
face-to-face kind of, you're not the Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm the Guardians of the Galaxy, I am the law.
I am the law. My thing, I don't see why, this is us getting into the negatives now.
Yeah.
I don't see why Sylvester Stallone was credited as starring. He is and I'm not spoiling the film for you.
He's not there.
He is literally in like 3 scenes.
It'll be pretty much...
One of them's a post-credit.
His agent will have made that. If he's coming in, if I'm having Sylvester Stallone come in here, he's starring in it. He's starring in it, you know.
But it wasn't... If you've got Sylvester Stallone, someone who is a proven dramatic actor, he's won an Oscar, he's been nominated for an Oscar. He's not like Arnold, where he's just like, I don't know what I'm doing. He has dramatic chops on him. Use it.
That would have been
that moment when he's talking to Yondu saying it hurt nobody more than me to banish you. I'm like, oh, we're getting into the meat of the bones. Oh,
it would have been fun. That's why I think there should have been more of a fight. We should have seen what that character can do on film. That's why I think that there's a plot point missing.
Yeah.
And it is Sylvester Stallone's the key point of that. The idea of hunting down the Guardians of the Galaxy, that chasing them down should have happened. So they're not just running, that when they go, oh, we've just escaped the Sovereign. Oh, they've gone round. Why didn't they go around?
Yeah.
There's no point to that whole reason of that scene if they could have just gone round.
Yeah.
And that's my problem. They should have decided to gone through there, jumped to the bar planet to hide out with Yondu, the idea of using them as cover.
Yeah.
And then that gives Yondu, that gives that kind of Sylvester Stallone a bigger reason, a proof of everything. Because the one thing that didn't happen was a told not shown was, oh, you have a reputation, Guardians of the Galaxy. No, there's no proof of that other than Ego saying that.
Yeah.
So if they get to that planet and then they have this kind of like, they're hiding out and going, oh, you're the Guardians of the Galaxy. You held an Infinity Stone and you're hiding here. Yeah. And then you can have Sylvester Stallone going, you're not the Guardians of the Galaxy. I am. You're a disgrace. That would have been more fun. And then at the end, you have the Sovereigns come down and say, we'll pay a ridiculous amount of money to save that, to have them killed. All guns out, proper barb roll. Yeah. They try and get out. They destroy the ship.
And then it also adds credence to the whole Ravager plot point about you favor Quill, which I like that the whole dynamic between the whole dynamic between Yondu and Quill.
And that should have been shown.
That should have been centerpiece to the entire film.
And that would have given Gamora a more logical way to escape, because in the midst of all this chaos, she could have she found someone, maybe still Groot, to break her out. And then that's how the mutiny starts, in the midst of this battle of kind of, you follow me, you get shit done.
Yeah. Taserface as well. I
do like him. That was
a funny, because you get these characters that are just...
Again, that's what I call a D&D moment.
Yeah.
Because you have characters like this where you have DMs coming in with loads of bad guys on the spot, and a lot of the time, all I found is players make fun of NPCs, and it's like, I'm Taserface, I'm tough, and then you have the PCs going, no, you're not. Yeah, no, go on. That was again, these are small moments of D&D are leaking into film.
Yeah, let's get into some more of the stuff that we didn't like.
I felt, again, because of the whole reason why I was saying there's a missing plot point, I felt Ego the Living Planet bit went on too long. It felt at the same time like it told us everything too soon, and then wouldn't get to that conclusion. It's the idea of it's kind of feels like if we're playing a game of poker with James Gunn, it's the case of he's going like, oh, I've got a full house. You won't guess what I've got. You won't guess what I've got.
Yeah.
You won't guess what I've got. You told me you had a full house. No, I didn't. You won't guess what I've got.
A full house.
Yeah.
There was like one moment when I'm sat in the theatre, and it's the bit where they're playing with the ball that Peter creates, and then they just start throwing it back and forth at each other. I'm like, this is just cheesy. It pays off a little bit later. It's a sign. It's a visual sign of the two bonding.
Very obvious visual sign.
And I just felt if he was like 15, maybe it would have worked. But he's 34.
Yeah.
It doesn't pay off the right way. And oddly enough, I got more of two people bonding in one moment when, I can't remember, it's like there's a montage at the end when it's showing Yondu and Peter.
It's why
and it's Yondu showing Peter how to shoot.
And I know
that moment, I'm like,
yeah,
father-son relationship.
But we got 1 second of that. And
it gave you so much more than the whole ego thing. So when Gamora is calling Peter up on why are you trusting him so easily, especially when like not even 5 minutes ago you were saying I don't trust him. It just seems weird.
Yeah, and it's why I keep going back to a Minecraft reference. This would have been a perfect field test for that kind of weird game design thing. I know technically the only theme they should be referring back to is 80s. I get that, so there's 70s, 80s kind of like chic thing, but that's what Minecraft's technically doing as well. Yeah. The reason why I say that's the biggest creative aspect, and you're saying I can create anything, that would have been a fun moment of, the idea of when I've tried to teach people to play Minecraft, and that whole kind of, what do you mean I can do this? What do you mean? Oh, I can punch cows. No, stop punching the cows for a second. And just, that would have been a wonderful moment between father and son, the idea of like trying to teach someone how to play a game, but the game is life. That would have been really fun.
There's one person that we haven't talked about, where there's one character we haven't even mentioned at all in this entire review.
What?
I am Groot.
Yeah, because that's a negative for me. If I'm being it's
okay. Go
Groot, baby Groot there's so many things that prove me right with this. It's merchandise. That's all it's there for.
I think we hear the sound of a very distant Harriman getting very grumpy about this.
Harriman?
Gareth.
Oh, yes. And yeah, it's because I know Groot is cute, but that's what they want you to think. And they've got a Groot that is holding on to the back of a window, and all I can see is, that looks like some product they're going to be selling in the Disney store. Every moment with Groot is by our Groot that does this. And and as much as he's cute, I'm thinking, get on with it. Get on with it. I don't care. Drax is more funny Drax is more of a Groot than Groot is at the moment.
I think the two best bits that strike out for me in terms of Groot are the bit at the beginning when they play Mr. Blue Skies from the Electric Light Orchestra.
That was a fun moment.
And he's just dancing around the battlefield, and you're just seeing all this chaos go around him.
But again, all I'm thinking is, get on with it. I think my biggest problem with Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was, that was funny. Get on with it.
Yeah. The other bit that I liked is the prison breakout.
Yeah.
I like that bit.
Break. Oh yeah,
where it's like Yondu's. They're first trying to get Baby Groot to give them the fin, but he keeps bringing him the wrong thing.
That was a nice, genuine moment. That was a good, genuine moment where the Groot was necessary.
Yeah,
it's when Groot's not necessary and he's still there is when it's.
And then the bit where he gets that one Ravager, you see it in the trailer, and he just chucks him off the thing. In the thing, it's just him being grumpy and angry. In the context, it's like, no, he's getting revenge on the guy that really made fun of him.
Yeah,
and that was a nice moment, but. It felt quite a lot of the time that people forgot that Groot was there, and then they go, "Oh yeah, we need a baby Groot moment."
And you know what it reminded me of? Scrappy Doo.
Oh,
that's my problem with it. Is baby Groot was Scrappy Doo because of the nature of him. Groot. It would have been. I would have preferred him growing through the majority of this film.
Yeah,
that would have been funnier than. And that just, it felt, a lot of moments just felt unauthentic, and the idea of, that's the whole reason why people don't like Scrappy Doo, because he was just shoved in there.
Yeah.
And I would have preferred Scooby than Scrappy.
So, what else have we got? I think...
my favourite character of them all was definitely Drax. Drax was a character I was worried would baby Groot.
Yeah.
In the sense of, oh, that was funny, but get on with it. But
Yeah.
Drax was one of the again, is a character that's a very D&D character in the sense of I'm a fighter, I don't know much, I just know fighting, that's all I am, and I love players that play those characters. And he was wonderful.
He's a very interesting character in that he's the kind of person that has no filter. We all know that person that has a no filter, will say whatever comes into their little head. But you're like, you're just a joyous little love muffin. I can't help but love it.
Yeah.
And I feel Gamora was very underused in this film as well.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem when you focus too much on one character storyline in an ensemble. It kind of pushes everybody else away.
Yeah. And that's, again, the reason why if you did have that Reaver issue, if you had the Reaver thing, that means Gamora would have had all those all those arcs, would have had a better arc in this with what's her name?
Nebula.
And by having that on a different planet, having her chase her down, she's trying to escape her, and she would have been better in the prison escape scene, trying to fight off Gamora and things there, doing the whole fight there, than on the other side, because Gamora just became ridiculous in this film, holding a cannon and thinking, you're not Thor, you're not the Hulk, you're not Iron Man, you're Gamora. You're good with blades. You've never shown proof of incredible human strength before.
Yeah.
Why did you hold that cannon? The only person that deserves to prove how strong he is Captain America, because that's the whole point of the character.
Yeah.
When he holds that helicopter, that looks amazing. When Gamora holds a gun, I'm thinking, stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
So I with Infinity War, I want to see the actual Guardians of the Galaxy team up more. And I'm also making another prediction.
Go on.
For Infinity War this time. The reason the Guardians of the Galaxy get pulled into the conflict is because of Nebula.
Yeah.
Nebula finds Thanos, and I'm betting she gets killed by Thanos.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm betting that. I'm making that prediction now.
How does Star-Lord get? How does Star-Lord get to the scene we've seen being filmed, which contains Spider-Man, Iron Man, Star-Lord?
Okay, this is a wild, paradoxical theory. So you know that at some point, the Avengers are going to rock up, the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to rock up, and they're going to get into a fight.
Yeah.
In which Hulk will tear off Groot's arms.
Okay.
And that'll take down one hitter. Gamora and Black Widow will get into a fight, and it'll be a draw. And then it'll all come out that they'll tie, essentially. And then they decide, we're both after Thanos, and they'll team up. And then it'll get to the point that we'll see Tony Stark's vision again.
Yeah.
From from Avengers Age of Ultron, with everybody dying. Tony gets the gauntlet, and he wants to go back and redo things differently. But when he does that, he resets everything, and it goes slightly off, and he has no memory of it. Or he has bits and pieces of the memory.
You think they'll go for that kind of?
I think they're going to kill everybody off. They're going to rip out Vision's.
Vision is going to die. That's a moment in the comics that has to happen.
Yeah, so that's going to all happen, and then it's going to end on.
I think
them resetting everything. It'll either be Tony saying resetting everything, or I want all my friends back, and then that's how we'll get all our heroes back.
I think one thing I think might happen is depending on what they do with Hulk in Ragnarok, I reckon they might do a little element of World War Hulk in this, in the sense of, because at the moment, if he stays on planet and doesn't go to Earth, then that means if to get him to Earth, someone else has to get him there. Answer for my for the logic is Thanos. Thanos gets him and tells Hulk, "This is all your friend's fault. You need to go to Earth and give him revenge." So, being a manipulator, he then goes. Well, Hulk gets pissed off, goes to Earth, and basically World War Hulks as Thanos is like, "I'm taking the gems. They're mine now." That's what I reckon might be a reason that they all go together.
Well, they're filming in Edinburgh at the moment, so yeah. Apparently, Edinburgh is where quite a lot of the team. Like Team Cap went to ground, because of course they went to Edinburgh.
Why?
Because it's far away from America. It's not the kind of place that people think, oh, that's where Captain America is, up on Castle Hill.
Fair enough. On the other side,
they're doing a lot of filming with
thinking-
like Vision and Scarlet Witch.
so he said Captain America, the embodiment of America, is going to Edinburgh, the one place where America's president has
To be
property.
fair, this was
That seems appropriate. Is all I'm saying. You know,
this was written before our glorious leader Donald Trump got into power.
Trump, I like Trump, Mr. Fart.
So I think let's wrap this up because I think we rambled on quite a bit.
Yep. So,
If you were to buy this, how much would you spend on it?
okay, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. If I was to buy it, I would say overall about £25 overall. Good, that's a cinema ticket and a DVD copy.
Okay.
That's how much about. What about you?
I'd probably spend a little bit more. I'd spend about 27 quid.
Okay.
But with the free Baby Groot soft plush that you will inevitably get with it. Which is probably enough for a special edition of the DVD and the movie ticket.
So that's including the group that goes on the back of the car looking out.
Look, I'm the kind of I'm a giant man child, so having like a little baby Groot, I'm like, it's cute. I can't help it, but I want to see. Like, I know we're not going to get a whole bunch of teenage Groot in the next film.
That's just.
It was just a throwaway gag, and then you'll get full-grown Groot in the next one.
Good.
So I think that's it for this week.
Yeah.
I think
Things.
it's playing up again.
It's playing up, but it's.
So let's go and save Dan.
Yeah. No.
Well, I've got to save Dan.
Fine.
So.
Fine. Go save him.
I gotta get the spacesuit on.
Alright.
Where do you keep the spacesuits in there, Chip?
That's for you to find out.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, found it out. Rubbish. Why did I have to give Dan a spacesuit?